guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. It is Thursday afternoon. It is time for round three, and as promised, well, maybe I haven't even told you, we're going to do an update on the Gosselin family, Jon and Kate plus 8, Kate plus 8, Kate plus 8, all of those dates, kids, the original sextuplets that were all over the world. They were the biggest show on TV and the biggest divorce to hit the mainstream for reality television. Jon and Kate. So Jon Gosselin was on this very long media blitz the last few months. Actually, it's been about a year since his first verbal dumping of information. He had been in a non-disclosure agreement with the network, TLC, following his divorce with Kate. He said in many interviews that he had signed this non-disclosure agreement because he was broke, Kate had way more money, and he needed a way out to get off the show. During all of these interviews, he talked a lot about his son, Collin. He had actually gone out of his way to get Collin from a facility in Pennsylvania that his ex-wife Kate had placed him in. Now, Collin, if you remember, was one of the sextuplets, and he was always one where Kate was a little bit more, he was more spirited, and he was often one that she talked about in her books about having a harder time disciplining. Now, Collin also was one that did not want to be filmed along with his sister Hannah, and both of them now live with their father, Jon. Well, during all of these different media blitzes, Jon has had a lot to say about Kate. He has made a lot of statements about Kate, claiming that she has done a lot of things to these kids that have left deep scars on them, and has said that Collin does not have any relationship with his mother, that he has a no contact order, or Kate has a no contact order with Collin, and that they have zero relationship, and that Collin has no interest in having a relationship with his mother. Collin, for many months, has posted about how much he loves his father, how grateful he is to his father for never letting him down, for always being there for him. And so for all of us, we just assumed that everything was fine. Now, Collin has a lot of scars, as Jon said, and he is doing a lot to reintegrate back into the world after being in a facility for many years. He and Collin have had to do work in order to get their relationship back, because he says that Kate created a very toxic environment for his children, and he talked about parental alienation. And he has talked about, the journey that they all have been in family counseling. They've been doing all of these things together. It all sounded great. And then today, now Collin has a couple times posted things online, and then he deletes them. And he has an Instagram account, and his Instagram account has over 20,000 followers. He is a 16-year-old, and today he posted something that made a lot of people concerned. So in a post, he said that his dad was a liar. And in the post, he said, "My dad is a liar. Yesterday, he BEAT me up and thought nothing of it. He punched me in the face and gave me a swollen nose, and I started to. He then continued to kick me in the ribs, and I was on the floor. He is a liar." So he put that up with a brown photo, and then within about 5 to 6 minutes of it being up, it was down. And after it was put up, people began asking him if he was okay, and then he deleted it. And then shortly thereafter, after he deleted it, people started going to his other comments, to his other photos, to double check to see if he was okay, and he has not responded. Now, I reached out to Jon to see if he had a comment, to make sure if his son was okay, if there was anything if there was anything going on here, as many people started messaging me to make sure he is okay. It's unknown. Jon has not responded, and I did ask him, and he hasn't said a thing. One of the more concerning aspects about this is, one, is this kid okay? And that's really where my heart goes as a mama. And then two, Jon made a lot of statements about Kate, that she was the one that was doing this kind of stuff to the kids. And if this is true, and this is what he's doing to his kids, this is bad, like really bad. I mean, it makes you really start to wonder like what these kids might be going through in their houses and in their lives. Like, we've talked a lot about Kate. We've danced around a lot of the issues of Jon. You know, Jon was very absent with the kids. Now, Jon has blamed Kate a lot for basically everything, and he's tried to paint himself as the one that's being the good parent. And if this is true, and you always want to believe a kid, I mean, you do. You want to believe that the child is being truthful. You have to like wonder, is he been doing this whole blitz in an effort to not deal with the things that he's done as a parent? You know what I mean? Like ditching them and going out all the time. And, you know, if Kate was the one doing this stuff, he was there too. So was he doing it too? And is this true? Like, this is really a big deal. And because he's deleted it and he hasn't responded to anybody, and Jon isn't responding, I reached out to Jon, he has not said a thing. It's hard to know. So my biggest criticism when Jon was on this blitz last year, doing all of these interviews, talking about the kids, talking about Kate, really making Kate out to be the bad parent, my biggest thing was like, why are you doing this so publicly? Why is it that you are the one that has to make this such a public thing? Like, can't your kids have some privacy? Why is it so important that you clear your public name at the expense of making the mother look terrible, right? And everyone that doesn't like Kate automatically jumps on the "we hate Kate, we were right, we knew it." But then anyone that questioned why Jon was doing it was immediately met with the fact that like, oh, but Kate was terrible to him. You know, they put them in this NDA. He was such a, you know, there was such a this, that. But there was this constant criticism and comments in all of my videos, and those being, you know, he's the one that didn't pay child support. He signed that NDA so he didn't have to pay child support. He did all of these things to not deal with Kate, and he abandoned his kids. And now he's trying to play the martyr. And part of this thing I always feel like is anytime someone is so busy trying to trash somebody else in terms of like, they're doing this, I was the one that wasn't doing anything, you always wonder if they're hiding something too. You know, Kate and Jon, they came together and they were at one time or another, they loved each other enough to have children. And so they had similar takes on parenting, and they had similar interests, and they were compatible at one point. And discipline was a big thing where, you know, she had the wooden spoon, and obviously he was co-signing it because he was there. So I'm shocked. I really hope Collin is okay. And I want to believe that there is somebody in these kids' lives that is there for them, that is taking care of them, and that is not doing anything to hurt them. I will let you guys know if I hear back from Jon. I'll update you if Collin posts anything else. In the meantime, if you're the praying kind, say some prayers for Collin. I'm going to keep him in my thoughts, and I will keep you guys posted as soon as I know more. Bye, guys.